Okay guys, hope you're well. I'm trying to make the sheet a little bit easier for you, so I'm going to adapt it so it has percentages rather than numbers. And if you bear with me a second, we'll kind of put it to the test. Just pull this across. Okay, so when you're looking at it, a lot of people can't sort of understand sort of the scoring system, if you like. So I thought the easiest way to do it, and this will adapt this week, and I'll clean it up at the weekend, but this is a raw version of it. I'll put it into percentage terms, because then if you can see something is growing by 25%, it's easier to kind of visualize that, well, that's a significant increase. Or if it's decreasing 50%, you think, oh, well, that's losing ground quite a bit. Because like I've said before, this is not so much a direction picker as a product picker. But I want to be able to build into it the bias. So this section here, the top section, is just the strengths and what's good and bad. And it's the products that's going to move on the day, if you like. This section is to try and give you a little bit extra in the sense of, all right, I know what the product is, but now what's the bias of the day? So then you'll only be looking for buys or sells, sort of thing. So at the minute, just to give you some examples, it's pulled out, same as before, blah, blah, blah. The New Zealand versus the Aussie. Now that is very strong, that is very weak. But if you look down here, the New Zealand is losing ground and it's lost 4%, which is quite a bit. And the Aussie has gained 25%. So for all, it's shown you, so if you can imagine, that's the extremes of the market, and this is actually what's happening with the market. All right, just to put it into context. And then if you look up here, it will tell you the bias of it. Well, it's in green. Green means buy or long, and it's 29%. So it's not great, because you really want to be 50-60% better, you know, so you can see the movement. But if I pull up a quick chart on this, where are we at? What did I say? Aussie, New Zealand. Okay, I'll just pull this up for now, because I have all my currencies on here. Where are we at? That's not the one that I want. I want the one with all the currencies on. So I'll just minimize that. This is the one I want. Okay. So it's the Aussie New Zealand, which is this one. Okay. So let's have a look. Alpha New Zealand. There's your New Zealand. So what can you see? So it's telling you that the New Zealand is strong, and as you can see, it is. It's pushing up. But look, it's starting to sell. All right. If I do this on the Aussie as well, just so you can get a gauge of what's going on. All right. The Aussie is pushing up on everything also. Okay. So there's going to be a right old tussle. Now the one we're interested in is this one, the Aussie New Zealand, because that's what's pulled out. Now this is the day chart. All right. And as you can see, it's pulled down very nicely, but it's flattened out there. So if I drill this down into the hour, the sheet is telling you the bias is to the upside. That is there. Well and truly moving up. And if you draw a trend line across that, through there, it's showing you the pressures moving up. Now that's on the hourly chart, so it's all starting to fall into place. So what you would do now is you would just either look for a decent break. Well, if you're sort of a pattern trader, there is a nice triangle pattern and it's broke out, push up. Where's its next point of resistance and support, or support and resistance? It's that level there. So you've got a half decent. So even if you just ordered it now, there you are, it's about 8 pips to there. If it can push up onto the top, sort of the mid range of this, about 20 pips. So that's a good trade. That's a nice trade. Okay. So on the day trades, which is what we're interested in, because when you look at that, it's only 35 in a day, so it doesn't move that far. This is telling you it's the pound CAD. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trade that and see if it is balancing out. So let's have a look. Pound CAD, that is there. Just pull this across. Right, don't just take that off, take that off. Right, what are we looking at? Clean chart, very, very simple. So it's told us this is a good buy. Well, straight away you can see that it's pushing up straight away, so that's good. All right, and there's probably some good levels in there. So let's have a little look at this. So it's the pound CAD. So what's happening with it? Well, the pound is strong, the CAD is weak, red and green. Good. The pound is gathering pace, 19%. The CAD has lost 11%, 33% rather. So 19 versus 33. So that's losing ground. This is definitely gaining ground, quite significantly. Okay. Over here, 52% gain. All right, strength, moving that way forward. So is it reasonable to assume that we can have a trade off this? Well, I think there is. So let's get a few levels onto this thing. And I'll just do it quick. You know, I would normally have all my levels in, but I just want to kind of show you what's going on. Well, that's a lovely drop and a half on there. That's showing you that's pushing up. So yeah, that would be selling off and moving up. So you put your trend lines in, as I've just shown you. That's actually a nice trend channel, if you like. So let's have a look, point to point. So take it from there across. So there's a channel, and then if you put another one in just up here, there's a nice area to work within. Very, very simple. It's at the lower end of this. What's this here? Well, it's a cluster point, cluster point, cluster point, cluster point. So that's a nice level. So that's pretty good to work with. Just get that out of the way. So just drop a couple of levels in, so you can see straight away levels. It's been respected a few times. Up there, there's another one up the top. Pretty easy, you know. Just taking the tops of these. Boom, 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 boom. There's a lovely channel to work within. Work with that. So can we assume that this is pushing down? Well, we probably can. Let's have a look, see what's happening on the lower time frames. Well, it's actually at another level, which is here. You guys kind of know that once you go below the daily, they don't hold a lot of weight, so just a dotted line, but you can see it's a reaction point there, there, and there. So where's the next reaction point? Well, we're looking at a 4-hour candle. It's here. Another one up there. just like so. So we've now got two areas of attraction. Okay, take it down onto the hourly so we can see what it is we're looking at. Well, you've got a whopping big move here. It's pushed up, pushed down, pushed up, pushed down. Let's see if we can draw in fib, because that's a solid move. Gives us a couple of target points up here. So just want that there as well as a reference point. There's your 23, which cluster, pretty good. All right, happy with that. Move it across. So all I need to do now is wait. It's currently 10:30. See, that's pushing down somewhat. I just needed to find some kind of level. Could well push down onto this very easily and then come back up. So what I'll do is I'll pause the camera and I'll come back when this is kind of ready to rock. But the idea is to bounce it up to the long side. Okay, and if you look at this, it's possibly a good buy, but I need to get it into a decent level point first. Okay, so I'll come back when it's ready to trade, but at the minute I've just made a very quick levels, just to show you how you can build up a chart very quickly. Okay, but we'll go through it in more detail on live streams, etc. At the minute I just want to show you this. Hi guys, we back. Just clean that off. I put my own marks on what I like to use, and as you can see, it's come down. It's showing a little bit of rejection. It's 12 o'clock, so I think this might run on to possibly 1, because what you got to remember is whenever the markets are pushing aggressively, everybody be looking at this thinking, yeah, we're ready to rock. But the market has other ideas. In other words, it'll push to a level, and that level happens to be here. Now we're in a good zone, so if it breaks the top we can get in, which is based on this move. But if we look, we're in the waves. It has dropped down slightly, but it's in a good zone, so we'll just keep an eye on it, and I'll come back to it when it's ready to play. Okay guys, I've come back. It looks like we are pretty much ready to go trade wise. Why is that? Well, let's just shift that out of the way a second and I'll show you. This has been steadily moving down. It's found its zone, which is kind of where this cluster point and this cluster point is. Looks pretty good, and it's probing up. Okay, we can see that here. So I'm going to drop it down to a 15-minute just so I can see what is going on with it, and I can see kind of the rejection patterns here. Okay, and what's that? Well, there's a hammer showing the push up. It's moved down and it's failed to make a further low, telling me this is pretty good to a move to the upside as we go into the second half of the afternoon. All right, so I've got to be a bit careful with it. I'm just going to drop on a moving average, which is the 8, just because I want to keep an eye on it. And as we can see, we've had a nice break above it here. Now the last time it did it was there, but then it sold off and went back underneath, so I have to wait. It went above it again here, but then went below it, and now it's gone above it again here, and I have to watch this. Now what I'm looking for is for this to close above there. If it does, then we're pretty much good to go. If not, I'll just wait for it to get down here. It's not a big shake. It's not much to worry about. If I drop it back to the 5 minute where I was looking at it earlier on, you can kind of see that it's dancing and stalling, and that's balancing up that way. That's kind of what I'm doing, guys. But at the minute, I want to see the rejection on the 15 minute. It's caught between this zone nicely, this one and this one, and it looks like this is the reaction zone. Okay, so I'll just wait, and what I'm looking for is the double tap and then off to the races. Okay, I'll catch you when it's ready to go. Okay guys, come back. It's been a long day today, and just waiting for this to close, and then we'll be looking to get in, because the signs are there. There's your double tap, what we've been waiting for since early on this morning, and hopefully it'll play out. So let's have a look. Okay. Right. So what we're going to do is we'll let that unwind a little bit, and then we'll just drop an order in above it. So let's have a look. Help if I put the orders in. There we are. That's better. So down to there. 10 ticks, and she'll just see how it plays. Fire. Just like so. Bum, 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 bum. And what I'm going to do is I'll just leave the camera running. I'll follow that down if I need to, but we're looking to get in kind of top of this candle, which is here, and grab ourselves 10 ticks. Dead simple. And that's that, guys. Done. Had to wait a bit for the volatility to come into play, but the sheet has pulled out what it needed to, straight from zone to zone. Perfect. And there you go. So nice, easy trade of sorts. What it had done is it had picked out the pound card as the best candidate for the day. You could see it was having a sell-off, obviously, but now that is a lovely boom to the top, and that is pretty strong. And I just wanted to give you an example of how this worked. Again, I'll try and make it easier to read. I can read it, and sometimes it's second nature to me, and I do forget about that. So I'll try and make it a little bit cleaner, because even when it's saying buy, sell, it's just an indication. You still need to sort of dive into the chart and have a good look at what's going on with it. Okay. So anyway, there we go. And I'll catch you on the next one.